Hey everybody, episode 154. I know you're
Oh my
surprised to see
God.
us,
Can you believe that,
but we're
Sean?
here. 154. That's
Wow.
insane. But we're tricking people up. We're not. We're just going on random times now. We're not doing anything scheduled. We've got Edward with us, our favorite friend from
Love the random.
Canada. Isn't that how Corinne Jean Pierre pronounced
Ugh,
your country's name, Canada?
yeah. Yeah. Did you have to? You wrecked my whole night. Did you have to bring her up? Oh my gosh. Come on. We
Well,
just finished getting rid of Pam Blondie, which you know what? I don't know. I don't know what you know about that on today's news, but I thought I don't know. Is that kind of planned or not? I don't know.
What do we
I have
know about
thoughts.
Todd Blanche?
What?
What do we know about Todd Blanche? He's replacing her.
I didn't know that.
Have
See, you
you
know
heard of
more.
him? Have you
No,
guys?
you know more. Uh-uh.
He's a Trump Democrat like Kennedy.
Oh,
Oh,
all
really?
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that again, that's a bold move, Cotton.
Well,
I
the
read
Republicans, look, I say that for a very specific reason. The Republicans aren't moving the agenda along. So he's like,
well,
fuck it, I'll bring up a Trump Democrat.
Yeah.
I thought that's what she was, anyways. Kind of.
No, Bondi was
No.
Bondi was actually because we got a former Florida resident. Bondi was a kick-ass state AG, and
We,
she actually her record shows as the time she turned as federal AG was really great. The problem is it didn't go after what the podcast bros wanted. Epstein and this and that.
oh yeah,
Oh,
all the TMZ shit. Yeah.
Biden, right? The Biden cartel, Russia. But she was locking people up left and fucking right.
well, I
But
guess
she wasn't
I would.
locking up all the people the podcast bros were complaining about.
So when
I
I
would.
was a world famous narcotics detective in South Florida,
Mhm.
Pam Bondi was our greatest ally. I mean, literally our greatest ally.
Well, that's
When
good
we did,
news.
I was on the Blue Lightning Task Force with DEA, Customs, and the Coast Guard, and we were seizing Donzi's, boats and houses, and we were going after big time drug dealers on the east coast of Florida. And our state's attorney would always run it up to Pam, and she always had our back. And to the point where she would even say, "Look, you need to rewrite this. I'm writing a search warrant as an affiant." And she would say, "Look, you need to consider these elements." And she would pass that down to the state's attorney, in St. Lucie County,
Good
and
girl.
meet with them and say, "Okay, these are the elements you need to meet in order to get a wiretap, a pen register, a search warrant, that kind of thing."
So she was
And she was
already.
always an advocate. She was always an advocate.
Well, I don't know what happened lately to her, but I don't know. Seemed to have kind of fell down on the job, but what do
Yeah,
I know?
no. I like that's where most of the media, the social media has gone and shifted to, and it's really not true. But they're all out there. The Thomas Masseys are out there going the Epstein files. Um, whatever. I'll
Dude, it's so lame.
There's nothing in those files that can
Nothing there.
prosecute anybody.
Those guys aren't stupid. They're
Right?
not going to put themselves out there. They've got a protection system. And even though they went there, there's going to be, the media speak is, "Oh, you were on Epstein's plane 11 times and there were teenage girls on there." Well, okay, connect the dots then. They don't. They just say, He was on Epstein's plane.
Everybody's guilty by
Everybody's guilty
Association.
because
they knew him. They were at a party with him. They flew on a plane from Florida to New York.
and he was a huge donor.
You know, boys, we talked about this a while ago, the three of us, maybe the four of us, and we said that list was never going to see the light of day. We all said that back in those days.
There's no list. There's no list. Hey, listen, I don't want to get too deep into this because we have gone deep into this, but
Yeah.
Epstein was not the pimp in this operation. He was the banker. And he moved transactions around
Yeah.
in the Virgin Islands outside of countries like the U.S. and Saudi Arabia
That's
and
Great Britain.
Israel and England.
Yep.
That's their playground. Great Britain.
So that, just to be clear, those governments could do things outside of what their Congress or their Parliament allows them to do.
Yep.
Right.
Just like selling a ship with a different flag in the middle of the ocean with no port. I mean, it's the same principle, and they enjoy it all. And I think Trump, put a stopper to that, with the Venezuela thing and the islands. And I think that did everybody well, because now Great Britain's on guard with the islands and the money laundering and everything. So I think we're finally getting somewhere. I hope, and this is just me, I hope everybody gets to see, in North America anyways, well, I say Australia and some other countries, how crooked, Great Britain really has been all these, not years, decades, almost century. And it's about time that someone, spoke up and called them out for who they really are. And let's face it, isn't this the very reason why we came to North America anyways and ran away from those creeps? I mean, and now they want to suck us back into that? Come on. So, well, we got
crazy as hell. People getting arrested for hurting people's feelings verbally. Not a battery.
No, I know.
Just, hey, you damn punk, and then they come 2 days later and arrest them.
Well, King of the Orthodox Church, the king of the Orthodox Church, is not going to make an Easter address.
Why not?
He's not going to what, Sean?
He's not going to make an Easter address.
Oh,
which has historically been the duty of the king of the English Orthodox Church.
Right. And what's his reason?
He said England has announced that the king will not be addressing the nation this Easter. And you could ask me why, but you know why.
Yeah, King Charles, when he changed his oath, instead of defender of the faith to defender of all faiths. I mean, really, all of them? You're not just one now. I mean, now you have to let in, every religious dominion, or every religious. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember now. But to have them all in makes no sense. I mean, they're all against each other, and you think that you're going to now support them all.
Edward, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is almost a mirror image of what the Catholic Pope has been doing.
Well, yeah.
Again, I know the King of England is just a symbolic leader.
No, that's what they say, but that's not true.
But he's the leader of the English Orthodox.
He really is. Yeah.
And so by refusing to give a homily on Easter, he's kowtowing. He's bowing down to Islam.
Yeah, he's bowing to Islam. Exactly. There's no other way to put it. That's exactly right.
Sort of the Catholic Church and the Pope by, the building of the room and the Vatican for Islamic prayer. And oh my gosh, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, hey, they always talked about a one world religion anyways. So maybe this is the start of the whole thing. I don't know, but I'm totally against it. The whole thing altogether. It needs to be, someone needs to address that. I mean, publicly for all the nations to see how corny this whole thing's getting. But hey, that's just me. It is.
Look, I think the biggest observation out of the West, which would be Canada, America, Mexico. I mean, and we're just going to go ahead and take South America too. Go screw yourself. Is that obviously Europe has given up because of their feminist ways. No, they've given up, and
They really have.
they're
Yeah.
Run,
submitted Islam.
run
And
out.
that's when you hear Edward. That's when you see Marco Rubio come out and go, "Listen, NATO. I don't think now. Maybe we won't get out totally, but maybe we'll just stop funding it
We need to
totally."
get out. We need to get out. Everybody, nah, just
And,
NATO's way
and,
past
and he
this.
goes, "You know what? If you won't let us use your runways, maybe we'll withdraw our troops." And a lot of people are pushing back on that. Like, why would we not want our troops there? And Marco Rubio makes a really great point. If you don't want us there,
We're out.
let your Islamic invaders use
Yeah.
the space.
Yeah. Let them have it.
Get
Let
back
them
to
have
us.
it. Let the
Get
Taliban
back
run
to
their
us.
Black Hawks in there.
No, that's right, Paul. No, I'm with
Afghanistan.
you. That's right.
Yeah. The hell with them.
Yeah, I have to stand with what Paul said there. Yeah, let them have it. And you know what? If you're not going to be there for America, because America's there for everybody. Name a country in the past 50, 60, I don't 100 years that's ever stood with or been with America. I mean, never mind Canada and being with them in wars and blah, blah, blah. I mean, actually, these nations that, we're always giving money to for, I don't even know why we're doing that. But anyways, we're doing that. But who's going to be there for us when we need it? Nobody. Nobody's been giving us money, from all these other countries. No, it's always us giving, never us getting. It's about time. Someone in NATO, I couldn't believe the stab in the back to give America. You got to be kidding. You're not going to be there for America. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the point of being that if you ask me, that antiquated NATO thing is long lasted, left its prime.
Right.
That goes back to, I think, 91. What were you saying, Paul? 90, 92, 93? What were we saying back in those days? That it's after Russia collapsed or
Yeah.
the USSR.
Well, Cold War, but the bases were all built after the World War II because they needed American dominance to resist, rebuild the entire continent of Europe.
Yeah.
And so they absolutely welcomed us, and we hung out. Some of our kids went to their schools. Some of our people served on army bases or air force bases and all across Europe. And then we started doing some of that in the Middle East, and we started doing some of that in Asia. And this wasn't part of nation building. This was runway building because if we're there, we provided a level of security you could not possibly have.
And it was just presence. It was.
Oh yeah.
It
And that's
was
what you needed.
benign presence, and it worked.
Yeah.
What if here's a scenario: we sold most of NATO countries the old AWACS 737 with the giant disc on top.
Okay.
And we also sold a maintenance package that are U.S. contractors that maintain those birds. Those are A&P guys and radar guys that have worked on them back in the 80s, when we were using them.
Yep.
What if we just packed up all our toolboxes and just left and said, there you go. You got 15 birds in Deilenkirchen in Germany that are AWACS. Well, okay. You're on your own, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want us here? We're done.
Not only do you give them that shit, but then laugh and go, by the way, we don't use any of that shit anymore because all of our shit's in space.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, good one. Good plan there with
literally,
Space Force.
Edward, all of our intel, we don't need to be over the battlefield with a plane anymore.
I know.
We have space. So no, SpaceX
That
has
didn't
a
take
total
off.
division dedicated towards the U.S. military called I think whatever. It's not Starlink. It's called something else. But whatever. Elon has made it public that they have this, and they have Elon's even literally made a joke one day to some German politician who was ripping Elon. He goes, "I should turn on one of my space lasers and singe his ass."
I don't know why the Star Wars program that Reagan was mentioning, and I'm going back to what was the 80s, why that never took off faster than what's been going on. Or maybe there's more going on that we're not privy to. That could be too. I don't know.
I cannot confirm or deny that we have Star Wars.
All right. Yeah. Well, with Trump bringing that up, that Space Force, I'm thinking that, that wasn't
Me
just a
either.
bring me up, brand new. That's a continuation from probably what was already going on behind the scenes anyways. I don't know, but I just suspect that as well.
Everything, all I'm going to say is everything you're seeing happening to Iran, and they deserve every bit of it. You know what? You can yell at me.
Wow.
The chat is open. You know how to get a hold of me, or you can send me a bunch of emails or rude shit on DMs.
The hate mail.
I'm going to tell you, Edward, everything we're using right now is still 1980s and 1990s technology. You haven't, and we're never going to show you what we can do.
Why would you? No, agreed. And we
The
all
only
know.
thing that is like out there that people know about that pay attention is you take the B-52, for example. 1962, it was introduced, and it had the old TF-30, 33 or whatever engines on them that were loud and dirty and, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Rolls-Royce just won a $2 billion contract to do that. What is that? The F-130, Sean? F-130 program where they're doing the engine retrofit on at least a 50-year-old aircraft. And they're doing STCs to strengthen the wings and increase their load capacity so they can carry bunker busters and that kind of stuff.
Well, Paul, listen. One of the things that people aren't talking about, and we can talk about this, is we're going to look at in the next 20 or 30 years the Navy moving into space. So you think of like Battlestar Galactica with a runway.
Yeah, it looks like a Littoral class Navy ship. Yeah,
Right.
it's in space.
And that's something realistically America's could actually make happen for a Navy because they have to. They absolutely have to because China is going to do it. Try it. They're already trying it. We've seen they have their own space stations, and we're going to move through this. So Russia's going to be farther behind, but Russia can get to space. They can't get to space. They can, as long as they can put shit up there, then they can assemble it. I mean, and then everybody else, Iran also was working with China to get to space. Oh,
Yeah.
did everybody forget that part?
Yeah.
No, we don't forget who supplies China the oil. We've never forgot that, but go on.
So no, you're looking like I know sci-fi sounds silly, but you're looking at sci-fi 20 years from now with Battlestar Galactica style naval space vessels that hold basically what an aircraft carrier holds today, but holds it in space. And so if a weird country like North Korea starts launching shit at everybody, right? Then,
But you know what, John? We were
the
talking.
Space Navy. I know you're laughing, but I'm being dead serious.
I'm
This is
not.
where we're going. The Space Navy just shoots that fuck out of the sky
Yeah.
in space. Doesn't matter what the payload was.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect Earth.
You remember that space we were on a long time ago? We're going back a few years ago when Hawaii finally got blasted with supposedly, I'm just guessing now, lasers, from space, unless you had a blue roof. Remember we were talking and joking about that? Or was that you, Paul, that mentioned that? I can't remember now. And we were talking about actual real life lasers that could, do apart, any rocket or bomb that was
Right.
launched, in midair just from space. So I don't know how current and accurate that is, but it was back in a few years ago. That was
Well, it was I think 2018 or 19. The fire in Hawaii. Oprah's house didn't burn, but every house around her burned. That's the story, and I get it. It's tabloid. It's silly. If you're asking if we have space lasers, Elon already told you. I've got space lasers. Now we're not talking about the same thing per se.
all right.
And I don't want to get too far into talking about and this is why I've never really wanted to talk about the war in Iran per se, because we're getting into again. I already told you, we are still using our 80s and 90s shit.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what the fuck we have right now.
Yeah.
And they're not going to either. So
They
That's-
might if we have to. We don't want them to find out.
That's correct.
not now. Yeah, let's wait till
I
something.
will
really
say
happens.
it's not even close.
I wish I could describe it, but I can't even describe it. Where I'm going to get to though from this conversation is I want to look at the super disappointment from all of us people who are technology friendly in the Artemis mission versus anything SpaceX does.
Bro,
And I sent you a text last night. I was like, what the fuck is this Atari
what the
shit?
fuck?
What? Paul? I didn't hear that.
So they're like 2 generations behind what SpaceX is doing, which is so disappointing.
I looked like there's a picture. I could go find it if I have to show it. The amount of buttons, the IBM computer screen.
Oh, for God's sake, dude.
Instead of the glass cockpit of a dragon.
It's not even a glass cockpit.
With no buttons.
Yeah.
With no buttons.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's
what
not
the
even
fuck?
that. It's still chip lights and shit like on a helicopter.
What the fuck is this? And I like,
Yeah, toggle switch it. A toggle switch in 2026 in a space mission? What are you, stupid?
And I know Jared Isaacman is doing his best to fucking speed this shit up. And I made a couple of comments on his posts. I was like, Jared, your Atari as NASA, not you, because you're awesome. Your Atari is NASA. SpaceX is 27K compute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Minimum.
Why are we spending $4.2 billion on a single launch when Elon
With toggle
is
switches.
promising 90 million, 47 times less the cost
Yeah.
of lift? Why are we
And more
and
efficient,
he'll
and
never answer.
using less people,
And that-
and
yeah.
more reliable. The stuff he does is more reliable, Sean, at the end of the day.
Yep. What was that one booster they were saying has already gone something like 50 or 75 times in and back from space? I
Both
mean,
of
the
them have.
reusage of that is just incredible.
Why are we taking Artemis and we're going to circle around the moon and look at it and go, yeah, this looks like the moon. Let's go back and report our findings.
No, and no live video. I mean, if you go to their YouTube channel, NASA's YouTube channel, the video is just ground based. There's nothing live, and people will say, "Well, that's because it's Starlink," and I'll be like, "Well, wait a minute. Jared Isaacman, the administrator of NASA, bought a private flight on a SpaceX Dragon to go out farther than any human to date before Artemis. And they had live video the entire fucking time. And you can't tell me Jared, who he was the one that came out of the top of that capsule, the farthest human being outside in space.
Yeah.
That's the guy that's the director. You can't tell me he goes, and all he could say is, look, I know, we're catching up. SpaceX has had more launches than NASA. And here's my question. Okay, Jared, I understand you're working for the Trump administration. I understand you're supporting Trump, but why don't you fucking delete Artemis and then pour money into SpaceX, Blue Origin, and
Yeah.
Rocket Labs, and Firefly?
You know what, gentlemen? Why are we still even interested? Back in the 60s, never mind that. Today, in
That's the
2026,
technology we're using. We're using Boeing. We're using Lockheed Martin. We're using
well, it's the same, basically the same company, anyways. But yeah, we
that's
have telescopes,
SLS.
homemade telescopes that you could see basically grains of dust on the moon today. I mean, like, who cares looking at the moon, whether you're doing it from a spaceship or a telescope? You're getting, very fine views today. What's even the point of circling the moon? Who cares? We're past.
Paul, no, hold on. And I thank you. I really want to hear from Paul, because what do you think about this using this 20 some of it 50-year-old technology is a contract, and not just canceling the contract and then RFPing it again for Firefly, Neutrons, SpaceX, Blue
Yeah,
Origin.
and it's easy to do. And so what you have to understand is the hotshot engineers in the 70s are now in their 70s. Those guys were in their early 30s, that kind of thing. They were cutting edge. And Lockheed and Boeing and Raytheon and General Dynamics Space, GDS, they're all using those same graybeard guys to guide their new program. When for half the cost, I mean, $2 billion? Good
1/47th of the cost.
Yeah.
For a Starship.
Yeah. And we go leap years ahead.
Correct. Can we have the young guys?
We don't compete with Musk. We partner with him.
Correct.
And NASA is still doing that old school. I'm telling you,
did you see those fucking rocket engines?
Down in Houston at the NASA program down there, because we're doing some range operations and stuff. And bro, I'm looking at first generation old ass. I saw a jet that's from the Korean era that are doing weather runs and stuff. Come on now.
Yeah.
Those engines are massive compared to a Raptor 3. A Raptor 3 is tiny compared to those engines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On a SLS. You're literally trying to take a fucking 1980s Lincoln Continental into space, and Elon's like, yeah, I've got the Ferrari.
Yeah. Yeah.
So true.
All right, so one of the things I want to get into about this is, the other thing is, during the Biden administration, the reason Artemis didn't move faster was because they blocked SpaceX from contracts.
Correct. That's correct.
And they've held them back from progressing in Starship. Even today, I know Jared said he's working on it, but with environmental impact reports, and Elon has said, it takes me 9 months to get a response from NASA on an environmental impact report on a launch. All we did is put oxygen and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which is what's called atmosphere,
Yeah.
and it takes them 9 months to give me a response of when I can do my next launch. NASA's the problem. Jared's gotta fix that, or Jared's gotta go.
He's got to go. Dude, there's no either this or that. Jared's got to go. Let me
I
let me
agree with
tell you, we also do environmental remediation projects. And this is at the end of the day, this is one of the easiest remediation projects if we were to win that we could ever do. I'm telling you, it's low risk, it's low cost, and it checks all the boxes. But NASA makes it harder than it has to be. I've sent 2 white papers, myself personally, on behalf of my company, have sent 2 white papers to NASA with solutions for environmental remediation on a SpaceX space launch and the fuel capsules and all that kind of stuff. Crickets. I never heard anything back.
Well, then Jared's gotta go. Do
Huh?
could Elon propose a guy?
Yeah,
I would hope he would.
yeah. Part of our growth plan is to get with Elon and have him suggest a guy, and we bring him into our fold as a small business because we check that box, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I think Elon recommended Jared Isaacman too, though.
It was Isaacman, yeah.
And then that's failed epically as far as Artemis goes.
Yeah, Isaacman is 4-digit IQ. That guy.
No, I get it, but the problem is he's not willing to break the bureaucracy.
No, he's not. He's really not. He's I don't want to say job scared. That's not the right term, but
I got you.
you know what I mean, Edward? He's thinking more towards self-preservation than he is.
I think you're right, and I think that preservation, he's trying to preserve NASA, which should probably just turn into a
It's gotta change.
library.
It's got to
Worth-
change. It's
hold
got to
on,
move.
hold on, a library worth of people, not a giant bureaucracy. And that library of people could just approve or not approve space launches. And this is where I've been for over a year, and Paul knows this. Let Neutron, let Electron, let SpaceX, let let all the space companies, let them just fucking let them just fucking if they fail,
Yeah.
they'll learn. If they fail again, they'll learn more. If they launch and it's successful, they'll learn again. And everybody will eventually catch up to Elon. But you're holding Elon back because you're trying to hold back all the smaller companies. And by your DEI, best way I can say it, by your inclusivity into the space industry, you're like, we have to give everyone a chance, including SLS. Go fuck yourself. We have to give everybody a chance. We're stopping progress. Elon's the progress. And Elon even said, I want competition. I want people to try to beat me. So stop, Jared Isaacman, and
Right.
stop NASA. Just stop holding people back. We should already be at a point where we're at the very first USS Enterprise. The reason we're held back, NASA.
NASA. That's right. Yeah.
So,
No, 100%. Dude, look,
How to get rid of bureaucracy.
we've got a range contract where we do test and evaluation of the range at Fort Hood. the recompete is imminent. We're working proposals now. We've had it for 18 years. Our government reviews have been 5-star for all 18 years. Our program manager has been on that program for 30 years. And 11 days before the recompete came out, they said, this is service disabled better known. So everybody that was bidden had to scramble to find a partner. Luckily, we had a SDVOSB in our portfolio, you know, a young, aggressive company that we could do. But at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about with NASA. It's socioeconomic. It's
Good word.
everything but the
Very
mission.
true.
It's everything but the mission at hand.
I'm gonna say real quick one thing about the Artemis launch is that it was roughly, we can figure it was about $4.2 billion because of what Paul just said, and Elon could have done the same for $90 million.
Yeah,
47 times less the cost.
Yeah.
The taxpayer.
Yep.
Well,
and the bureaucracy won't let him do it.
A lot of free money floating around there.
You know, Edward, it really goes back to, you know, 515 Congress members making $175,000 a year, which I've made for at least the last 18 to 20 years, and I'm not a millionaire, but every one of them motherfuckers are.
I know, right? There's
every one of them.
I'm telling you, it's got a lot of free money floating around there. They're not going to get rid of NASA anytime soon, although it should, like you said, amalgamate with something that is up and coming. I mean, the people Elon has, the combination of the two would bring some surprising results. Huge, and I think that they should get on that soon. But the bureaucracy is not disappearing. No way. There's just too much good money out there, and everybody's up to the trough. We all know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so I would say we've beat this horse to death enough, and I'd like to switch gears if it's okay with the moderator.
Well, I'll be the moderator.
I would. So we're going to switch from space to Earth, the ballroom.
Oh, they got a stop order on that, or some sort of thing. I heard. Is that true?
Yeah.
So what I want to mention is the Chicago Bears.
Oh, by all means.
Can I?
Mm-hmm.
Are they moving to a new stadium as well, Paul?
Yeah. So the commission of the Chicago Bears have backed away from their stance, and it's not Meridian. It's something Indiana.
Oh, Hammond.
Huh?
Hammond.
Yeah.
Indiana.
They've invested so many millions. And even the Chicago Bears have invested millions into this 140-acre site. And they have approved $2.2 billion to improve that site, including a stadium and surrounding areas. And the people of Chicago are like, what the fuck did you just do? You're not talking on my behalf.
You don't think that would be a good deal, though? I mean, get an area where you can have
an excellent deal, Edward. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I you know what? I'm surprised no one moved on that. It's only a bedside community to Chicago anyways. It's not that far away. It's not
what is it, Sean Arlington?
Okay,
Is
all right.
Arlington Heights or something?
So the region is 3 counties: Lake, Porter, and LaPorte, that all border Lake Michigan and that all border Illinois, Chicago. So it's Chicagoland. It's actually faster to drive from the current stadium down to Hammond than it would be to drive out to what they were proposed as Arlington Heights. Very interesting story here, but you got to understand this part of Indiana is not the rest of Indiana. They are on Central Time Zone. They do everything Chicago. They work on the Chicago Mercantile Stock Market.
Oh,
They
really?
yes, this entire 3 counties, which is a lot of people, probably close to 2 million people just in Indiana. They're Chicagoans. It's Indiana by state. It's not Indiana. They're Chicagoans.
Okay.
I could see
And,
that. Yeah.
and so yeah, if you move it to Hammond, there's a state pride issue, of course, because it's Indiana versus Illinois. Whatever. But at the end of the day, this is Chicagoland if they move to Hammond.
Yeah. And so my question is, they would not change the name.
No, they wouldn't. It's Chicago
It would
Bears.
still be the Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears. They're playing at
Yeah.
Hammond, whatever,
Yeah.
Verizon Stadium, whoever the fuck sponsors it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Whoever's footing the bill. Yeah. I just thought it interesting that Chicago proper dropped the ball,
Listen,
and the Indiana
of course
folks were like, "Yeah, we're in. We're all in."
Of course they did. And the Indiana State Legislature, way down in Indianapolis, 2.5 hour drive away from Northwest Indiana, said, "Yeah, fuck yeah, we'll totally tax people to death. Let's fucking do it."
Yeah, let's do it.
That's just the way. That's just the way anything works with sports anymore. Is
Huh.
it's always on the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what state it is. It happens in North Carolina. It happens in Indiana. Happens everywhere. The taxpayers pay for the stadiums or the arenas or whatever. But again, I just want you all to understand that quadrant. It's called the region of the state of Indiana is Illinois, with a little bit less taxes. And a lot of people
What?
live there, so they don't have to pay so much taxes, but still enjoy. And it's even in a different fucking time zone.
Hey,
So is that also a commuter hub? I
Yeah,
mean, do lots of people live there and commute into
yes,
Chicago proper for work?
yes.
question.
Okay.
How far away is that land from, say, the steel mills, Gary, Indiana, that area? How far away do you think? Half
15
an
minutes.
hour? How much?
15 minutes.
Oh, well, yeah. That's, well, you know
Well,
what?
listen, Gary. So one of the things that people think of Gary is gangland. They haven't been since
Well,
about the 90s, because everybody in Gary, once the steel mills closed, moved to Minneapolis to do crime there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Gary's since they lost tax base, they've been slowly just demolishing houses, clearing land, getting ready for what comes next. They did, I believe, they actually crushed Michael Jackson's birth home, even though the nation all wanted it to stay intact, even though it was just
As a
totally
historical
totally
whatever.
defunct. But I believe that's even been crushed so that they could put up, some apartment buildings or some
yeah.
housing or some new stuff. It is not the gang land of America anymore. All of those people, interestingly, moved to fucking Minneapolis.
I'm surprised they didn't put more money in the steel mills and bring them up to date. I mean, Trump was talking about
That
that.
was that was fucking Reagan. He sent it to fucking Japan.
Oh, well, I don't know if it's too late to get that back for that area or not. I mean, it's handy with the Great Lakes. That's why I suggested it. It just seems to be, although this the mines are in Minneapolis or Minnesota, though, aren't they? So I guess I don't know. It would still be because of the Great Lakes, a great place to still have them. I don't know.
I don't
Yeah, and
disagree with you.
that was when I was working dope. Uh, we discovered what we call the Iron Highway, which was firearms
Oh,
going up through Indiana in bulk
wow.
from Florida. And we ended up calling it the Iron Highway because they would go up to Indiana and then disperse to Chicago and all those other places up there.
Hmm. The
Well,
things they know.
and in that time, and now it's a different time, but in that time, that was also when the gangs of Chicagoland ruled supreme.
Oh yeah,
And that would have been Mayor Daley's administration, the Daley cartel.
yeah.
I don't think that stopped. You know, if you've been reading the news the last few years, yeah,
All I'm
the
telling you
gangs.
is it stopped. Well, it did stop. They turned to Muslims, but what I'm telling you is, like, a lot of people still think of Gary as the murder capital of the world, and that
No,
all. The reason it's not anymore is because all of the fraud moved other places, like Minneapolis.
right? Yeah,
So you think the Leering Center
I know.
fraud. You think of that type of
Uh,
stuff? It
And
moved out of Gary and it
yep.
moved to Minneapolis.
My
I
boy
get you.
Dick Shirley.
Yeah, love that guy.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. Gary, honestly, uh, if I had a couple of blocks, the beachfront in Gary, I'd love to live on one of those cliffs.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful looking out over Lake Michigan. You can see
Hey,
Chicago
did
off
you
in
not
the
live that far away from the northern Indiana? I can't remember where you actually came from. Or it was in Indiana somewhere, if I remember.
I was I'm from the region. And the
Oh,
region I'm telling you is those three counties
that's
right
why you
next
know this
to
stuff
each other.
so well.
Well, yeah, and I was always in Illinois or Indiana or Illinois, and border back and there was no
Yeah,
border to us. And I'm telling you, Edward, like the Chicagoland is so huge, it's like 8 million people.
Hmm.
Now I'm not talking about in the loop, the city. I'm talking about the swath along the lake. Eight
Yeah,
million people live there.
I
You
know.
didn't know if you were driving from Crown Point to Dyer to Sauk Village to Calumet City to they all look the fucking same because not a little different than New York, but like it has as many people in the Midwest, as many people in New York that all live around this epicenter of an economy.
I know. It's so true. And I can't believe, even in, Indiana, some of these communities, I can't believe how high end they are for being not that far away from Gary. I can't believe, the size of some of these estates they have there. It's just amazing. So, yeah, so much for Gary, Indiana being that run out, town that we were talking about earlier. It's got some pretty huge developments around that area. So, yeah, I like the area. I think it's very nice.
Michael Jordan's mansion in Calumet City, about like by drive time, about 25 minutes south of the Chicago Loop, was right there, very private. You could drive by it, but like, yeah, you got to understand Chicago is New York money It's Los Angeles money. It's super rich fucking people, and they all own businesses that employ people. Capitalism, and
Yeah.
still there's so much work. It's
Sure.
still right. That's
So
what you're looking at.
Calumet City, is it on the water?
What's that again?
Calumet City. No. Calumet City is on the Calumet River, not on the
Oh,
lake.
okay. So what is housing prices like there?
In this one area I'm talking
Uh,
about is huge.
well, today a lot, but in general, Calumet City would have been no different than any other suburb. Way cheaper than living in a high rise in the Loop. So
And in the loop, yeah.
the Loop is what we consider the city.
You know, when you talk about, the rich, for Chicago, you do realize, and going even way past New York, the amount of high rises and skyscrapers and the tallest, biggest ones in the entire country, albeit in that time frame, the world, you had the Sears Tower, the Aon Tower, John Hancock Center, you had all these marvelous skyscrapers and, well, the Magnificent Mile, I believe they still call that, driving down there. It's a wonder to see. One of my favorite cities as far as architecture goes and engineering. But
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
the money you talked about, yeah, I can see that easily. And at the very bottom of the lake, for the older days of ships, yeah, I can see how that could happen and get built up so big.
Yeah. I subscribe to City Realty that has New York City apartments and townhouses and homes and stuff. And I looked at one today that I really liked. It was a 2 bedroom, 2 bath in Crown Heights for 1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
For 75 square feet. Kidding.
Well, and that's the funny part, and in any major city, that's where we're at. So listen, Paul, let me tell you, when I was running around, opening up for a band called Blackmaker, the bassist had a brownstone in Chicago, in the North Village, not all the way up to Lincoln Park Zoo, but in the
Right.
North Village. And it was 300,000, and to me, living in central Indiana, my house was 100,000. And I asked him, I was like, "How the fuck can you do that with a bass guitar?" And he goes, "Because I actually am a vending machine vendor." And that's and my bass guitar is the second job.
That's funny. Good for him.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how you afforded a brownstone
Oh,
in the
yeah.
early
And
2000s in Chicago.
you know, Chicago is a big Serbian enclave.
Really? I
And
didn't know that.
oh yeah, and Tanya and I have developed relationships with some pretty good movers and shakers in Chicago.
Mhm.
And they've invited us to come up and get a townhouse or a walk up or, something like that as a second home, which I'm not going to do. My second home's going to be actually in Bosnia.
Right.
Actually, you know what? I love Texas. I mean, you got a great spot where you are now. But I would guess Chicago, the Ukrainian, the German community would be a lot bigger. I had no idea Serbia was even a thing there. That's
But no,
surprising to me.
Serbia and Bosnia, there's big clusters
Wow.
Yep.
in the suburbs. It
Good people, though, so good
I
for
don't
them.
know, they do, but they also are. They're not people who necessarily like melted, like pot melting in
Right.
America. their whole neighborhoods, they still speak Serbian or
Oh wow.
Bosnian, and you could show up at the restaurant, they'll be friendly, but they make it very difficult for you to understand what's going on. And so you order a dish, you think you know what it's going to be, and they might even say thank you after you tip them. But this is where we get into, and I know it's funny, Paul, but we go into. I saw somebody post something. We could probably close out on this thought and have a conversation about it. Somebody posts something on X about the melting pot, and it came from Japan. Japan obviously posts now that X Grok has made it so that everybody can just read everybody else's posts. It's automatically translated. If
Yeah.
you haven't seen it, you will seen it. But one of the things that came up that I saw was, well, one of the Japanese people and it was blowing up, said, "Hey, but aren't you guys the melting pot? Aren't you guys supposed to just accept everybody?" And I said, "You got the melting part wrong. You're supposed to melt into the American way of life."
Yeah.
And what's been happening over the last 30, maybe 40 years or more has been people coming in and saying, "No, you must accept us and our way of life." And that's not what from 1610 till about 1950 what the American melting pot was.
You can go
Right.
to the 60s and for that even.
What?
You can the 60s and 70s you can include in that as well. That same attitude as far as the melting pot, or what does the e pluribus mean, out of one many or something? I can't remember now, but yeah, now it's more like, we should be taking over. You should be adapting to our country's way, not just America. That's how the whole thing's coming out now, which is ridiculous. But hey, if you don't like it, stay where you are then. That's
Stay
how.
where you are.
No, get the
And if
move.
you're already here and you don't like it, go back.
Get the fuck out.
The
You know
shithole
what?
you came from.
Exactly. Yeah. Just stay put and just get out of our hair, or just stop it already. It's nonsense. But yeah,
Yep.
it's just terrible where I am here. Oh my God. But that's a
Well,
whole. We could go on for hours on that one. I can't believe you let in, 1/12 of an entire country's population in 1 year. 1/12 of the no,
Wow.
12% of the population in
Yeah.
1 year you let in. I mean, you already have no housing, no. Oh my God, yeah. Don't even get me going. It's retarded. Can you still say that alive, retarded? Because it's my favorite word for how stupid some of these people can be. But
you can. You can say gay and you can say retarded.
I
The
gotta
one
say it.
the one you posted today with an F, we can't do it here because we're on YouTube.
I posted something.
Yeah, you posted something on it. I don't even want to get into it, but you can't
No.
do the F word. You can say gay. You can't say the F word on
Oh,
YouTube because we're
that
on
one.
YouTube. So
Yeah, and I'm surprised that's even a thing, because it's not really a cuss word or a
oh
swear
my
word per
god, I
se.
saw a freaking dude on a bicycle wearing fucking ladies' underwear. It wasn't ladies' underwear, but you know what I'm talking about. He's just all like the super skin tight shorts, and you can see his boobs and his butt, and he's
What are you
riding.
thinking? Why, guy? Why?
And I wanted to yell the word out loud, and I just was like, whatever.
The F word.
I hate
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate
Okay, I
I
got
hate
you.
all
I
of you.
got you. Yeah.
Alright, so that's where we're at. Alright,
Yeah.
let's close this out. Hey, Saturday? Sunday? You guys wanna freaking fuck shit up again?
Hey,
Sunday, I'm good, bro.
I
Sunday or
I
Saturday?
have no idea yet. I haven't even talked to the ex-wife yet. I know the kids are back, so I don't know yet, but I will let you know. Text you, and See what
Yeah, Saturday would be good. We're going to the Ant Hill for Easter, and then I got tickets to the Rangers game Sunday at 1. So we should be back by 4 or 5, I guess.
All
Rangers game. What? You must be talking baseball in Texas.
Yeah,
Not
Rangers
New York.
playing the St. Louis Reds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because being Canadian, we would be thinking Rangers as far as New York goes, but that's
No,
hockey.
not those fuckers.
No.
By the way, there's a I don't know what's gonna happen, but there's rumors by the internet bros that obviously they're gonna fire the hockey guy, Cash Patel.
Really?
No.
Is that true?
It's rumors by the internet bros. It doesn't.
There's no
I don't
Cash Patel is no. There's no way, bro.
know.
I don't know. You know what? Money. I think. Yeah. I
Listen,
can.
no,
I can
I think you're wrong on this. I think Cash Patel delivered all of that
100%.
information to Bondi, and this is not on Cash Patel.
And you
It's
think
not
that's as
on
far as it went?
Cash. No.
You think it just went to her desk and that was it? The end of it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I also think, and I'm going to be very clear when I say this, there's nothing in those fucking files that's prosecutable, and I've been saying
No.
this for a
That's why I
year.
say. That's why I say none of those guys are going to see the light of it. Oh my god! Yeah, like we said years ago.
When you say none of those guys, who are the guys?
Well, the ones that we've all been talking about on the flight logs and all the other stuff that we've been talking about the last
Paul,
3 years or
Paul,
however.
Paul, help me out, and then we're going to close this out. You need articulable evidence of a crime to prosecute somebody. Am I wrong?
100%.
And so you can't just go, well, he flew on a plane.
I know.
No, listen. So, like I said before, we put 30, 60, 90 days into a investigation. We put together a package. We send that package to the state's attorney. The state's attorney says, you're missing this, 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 and this. If you have that, I'm going to issue you the warrant, the wiretap, the PIN register, whatever it is you're asking for, right? And every single time, I've been the affidavit on over 200 search warrants, so I know what I'm talking about, and I get to read the judge that is saying, "Hey, listen, you got to bring me this." So, I'm bringing it down to basics for like a dope house. You drive by, all the windows have aluminum foil on them. Okay? You articulate that. You go in on Tuesday, is trash day. You come at 5 o'clock in the morning and you grab the guy's trash and you analyze it. If there's any dope paraphernalia or something, you articulate that in your request, right? And then I would request a helicopter with a FLIR to fly through the neighborhood, and the house with the aluminum foil on the windows is glowing, 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 as opposed to the other houses there. I articulate that and put it into the warrant request. And then the judge goes, yeah, this is all really good, but I need you to add X, Y, and Z or whatever.
So the reason I'm bringing up the word articulable, reasonable articulable suspicion is why there's nothing in the Epstein files. Because they're files. There's files, totally files. There's records of flight logs. There's records of phone calls. There's records of emails.
Yeah.
But when they looked at this, there was nothing they could put RAS to and say that's prosecutable. And whether it's Pam Bondi or somebody else, what I'm telling you is that there's nothing in these files that, and I know I see a shaking head over there. There's,
No.
I'm not saying no awful crime happened. I'm saying in the files.
So
Yeah.
what we would do in law enforcement, in today's law enforcement, we would take the releasable files, we would upload them into an AI tool and say, find me any articulable evidence
Mm-hmm.
of this, that, and the other. And take in consideration Florida statute this or, that as part of your prompt, right?
Yep.
And you upload the statute. You run that thing and it'll come out and it will tell you if there's any violation or anything or not. And I guarantee you, these guys at the FBI and stuff, they're already using AI. They're already using these prompts. And I'm telling you, if something had come out, they would have reported it.
I totally agree with Paul.
Yeah, I remember we said, so long ago, you can indict a cheese sandwich or a ham sandwich, but what do you got that's going to stick on them? Nothing. So this is where they're at right now. I don't think there's anything in those files that you could prove any crime with anyway. So, but who knows? Could not. I don't know. I doubt it.
Most indictments are different from what we're looking at, and we are going to close this up, but when it comes to the Epstein files, everything has been exhausted. And if you disagree with that, that's on you, not on us to explain it to you.
Right.
We've given you the reasons that it's exhausted.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah.
So.
Well, boys, yes. On that note, thank you, Sean.
Hey, Ed, it was good seeing you again, bro.
No, very nice. My pleasure. I just loved it. So hopefully we get to do this again. And if time allows this weekend, yeah, let's do it. Let's hit it. I agree.
And listen, I'm going to go on Amazon and I'm going to send you a comb.
A comb?
I like his fucking frilly hair.
No, I just got a cut.
Like
Everybody's
That's my Joe Cocker buddy.
Everybody's thinking of an afro.
That's it.
No, right, Sean? Right?
Joe Cocker. That's fucking awesome.
You guys know me too well. That's exactly me.
Oh, man.
All right. Love you guys. Have a good weekend. I'll see you.
Well, all right.